Good morning and welcome back to the Tobago Update Morning Show. And we have in studio with us Miss Jody Melville-Nimblett, who is the owner of Purity Visa Application Services, and she's here to give us some updates. Yes, some updates on the UK and US visa application processes. We know there have been a number of changes in those visa application processes, and she's here to guide us and tell us what is good, what is not good, what we can do, what we can't do. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning and thanks for having me here this morning. Again, I would like to say it's really a opportunity to be here to share all the information to my Tobagonians, making them understand the process of all the visa application and making them understand, what it is going forward applying for a visa for the UK and for Canada and for the United States.
Right, and I'm happy that you brought that in. And before we get into all the new processes, I just want to talk a little bit about the services that you offer, because I want our viewers to understand that you're speaking from a place, an informed place. You've been in the business for a number of years providing these services. So just talk a little bit about how long you've been in the business and the type of services that you offer.
No problem. So I've been in the business for 15 years. Actually, I've worked with the Canadian Visa Application Center in Trinidad for 2 years. And then I came back home and I started the services in 2014. All right. So my business is basically to help persons with the application process. I am not a visa counselor. I do not give persons the visa. All I do is try to give them the accurate information to start the process for their application. All right. And persons are not too knowledgeable about the new information. So what I try to do is email the embassy and also do a lot of reading on the US Embassy official website. We have a lot of different media platforms with different information, but if it's not coming from the US Embassy website, it's not valid.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
So there is a website, it's the usvisa-info.com. That is their official website that you can get all accurate updates and all accurate information. Yeah? So my services is basically to consult, to not advise you or vet you, but to basically assist you with the application process and the way forward with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so now we have in the conversation where we saw a couple, I think it's months now, ago, where we saw that the persons from Trinidad and Tobago now have to have a visa to enter the United Kingdom, whereas before you just purchase your ticket, you jump on your plane, you go, you enjoy your holiday, do your business, you come back home. What are some of the things we have to look out for in terms of preparing ourselves to get the visa course, the duration of the visa, some of those things that people still don't have the information on?
All right. So the visa courses and the application process going forward with the UK, it's very straightforward. All right. But mainly when I'm doing that application, they are very concerned about your ties to your country and your finances, because they're asking you to give them your finances in pounds. That is your savings, that is, right? But it's basically normal job letter, bank statement, invitation letter. And yeah, that's basically it. So it's not as tedious as when it just implemented on July 17th. But it's very tedious in the fact that a lot of persons would have bought their tickets last year.
Right.
So then this year now, you have to apply for a visa and you're not too sure if you're going to be qualified for the visa. So that is the only thing that I think persons was a bit angry about, because I've purchased my ticket last year and now I need a visa this year. And I'm not too sure if I'm going to be qualified for this visa.
Right.
So that's the only thing, but it's a basic visa, it's basic information, and it's just like any other visa. You're not sure if you're going to be qualified, but you have to still try.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it, sorry, Akin, before, if I purchased my ticket last year, before this discussion started, and I'm traveling after July 17th, does it mean that I have to have a visa, although I've already purchased my ticket prior to this?
Yes, you have
and
to have a
traveling
visa.
after?
Yes, you have to have a visa. Yes.
For me, the real gross with the UK visa is really the exorbitant fees. I think the fees are very exorbitant. Have you had that complaint from clients?
Yes, I've, and mind you, the rates go up and it goes down. One time you see it's 179 US, next time you see it's 188 US. So I guess it's according to the rates at that time for that day, it would raise. And then you have their biometric fees, which are 103 US. And both has to be paid with a credit card. So that has been a challenge because a lot of persons don't own credit cards. You understand me? And it's a must paid fee. It's not you do one and then you wait for the other one. No. After you finish the application, it takes you straight to the biometric process. And that, you know, you move forward from there. So it's a bit expensive for 6 months.
Right.
Whereby the US Embassy is giving you a visa for 10 years
Yes.
for 1,258 TT. But because persons, as I said before, would have purchased their tickets last year, for this year, it's a must. There is no choice. Yeah?
How unfortunate
Yeah.
and challenging. Yeah.
It
It is.
It is.
And concerning Canada, we know that Canada sort of went in the opposite direction.
Yes.
Canada made it more a lot
Accessible.
easier,
More welcoming.
accessible for the
Yes.
persons to come.
Canada is easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. You know, it's a very, and I'm very shocking that a lot of persons don't want to apply for their Canadian visa. They're more into the US, UK. But Canada is still the same process. The only thing with Canada is that you don't see a counselor. You have to upload all your documents, do the application, do your biometrics also, and then they make a decision from their end. And then they would send you back an email stating if you get through or not. And the reason why you did not get through.
Okay.
You understand?
They give you a reason.
They break it down for you in the letter stating, hey, you don't have enough money. I see that your finances is not there yet. You know, try again. And they don't give you like a stipulated time to try again. You can try again whenever
you
your situation is, you know,
better.
better. Yeah.
One question though, there's a bit of confusion among some persons on whether the Canadian, because it's now an ETA, I think it is, they call it some electronic travel.
So the electronic travel authorization is basically an electronic thingy on your passport. I don't want to say thingy, but it's not a laminated visa.
Right.
It's electronic. So it goes by your passport number and your passport duration date. All right. It lasts up for 5 years, but once you have a US valid visa, or you would have had a Canadian visa within the 10-year period, you are qualified for that. But it goes to the duration of your passport. So if your passport have 10 years, it lasts for 5 years. If your passport have 3 years, it goes to that amount of time, right? But you can only fly.
Right.
You cannot drive over
Right.
because it's electronic, so they can only scan it through their system. But when you're driving over to a border, you have to physically show a valid Canadian visa.
Okay, so can you apply for that separately then? The visa itself to put
Or can you have two?
Or
The
yeah.
both
You
of them.
cannot have two because it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
When you have a Canadian visa laminated,
Then you don't need the
ETA
Right.
because you're basically could fly, you could drive.
Right.
Okay.
But for persons who just want to fly over and just do what they have to do, you can apply for the ETA. It's $7 US on your credit card, and everything is credit card again.
$7 US for a 10-year ETA?
No, a 5-year.
Five years.
5-year ETA.
Correct.
That's extremely cheap.
I like that, right?
I like that.
And they're really making things accessible for us. And,
Correct. They are
Yes.
welcoming people, though. They are welcoming.
And there are so many other options that people have not really paid attention to because, as you rightfully said, people really focusing on the US. I want to go to the America. You know, people, you know, and that's what people focus on. But there are so many other options. You know, in terms of the services that you offer, your experiences, the people that you speak to, what are some of these things that you really have to drive home to some of your clients in terms of them not understanding or knowing that the information is out there?
Everything.
Ah, wow.
Because you remember, this is a society where it's a hearsay and DC, and I Google this and I Google that. You know, and it's really hard on me sometimes because sometimes I just question myself as if I am giving the correct information when some persons come to me. So I am always on the top of things. You have to be.
That's
because
right.
when you're with a society like Tobago who do not like to read, I don't want to say that's too much, but they don't take information directly from the sources.
Yeah.
If I would have gone out and hear, you know, I hear so and I hear so, said so, and it's just a constant hearsay. All right. So it's like the visa integrity fee that just implemented around the 4th of July. Right. And it's not fully implemented. That $250 fee is not implemented as yet.
Okay.
All right. So that fee is basically separated from the $185 US fee, which is conversion to 1,258 TT dollars. You know, it's not in play as yet until probably next year. So if you do not see a US visa counselor come out and say anything about this visa integrity fee, do not take anything from any other social media platforms.
Right.
Because a US embassy representative did not come out and say, hey, well, this is what it is. I would have done visas yesterday, and it still says the $1,258 TT. So nothing has changed. You can still apply for your US visa. You can still, pay the normal fees at Scotiabank once the receipt is printed. Once you have a credit card, the fees is still $185 US, which is in conversion to $1,258 TT.
Wow.
Right?
I really am happy that you came this morning and you gave that type of information to our people. And it's very, very important, as you said, to read and to understand. And if you don't understand, go to a viable source.
Correct.
To ensure you get the information. And no better person than Miss Jody Melville-Nimblett this morning, being in the business for over 15 years, helping people to apply for their visas for the US and Canada. And now we have UK on the scene as well.
Yes.
So, no better place to go than Purity Visa Application Services to assist you with that. Thank you so very much.
And you're welcome.
And continue doing the work that you're doing and helping our people to access the wider world. I mean, the world is your oyster, and you are one of the agents helping people to experience
thank you so much
the
for
outside of Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show, but it's not where we end our programming this morning. We head on over to GMT, which is Good Morning Tobago, and you want to be a part of that as well. Remember, you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel. So stay tuned, and as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live, and have an awesome weekend.
And before we go, Adanna, we just want to give one simple message. Books and office supplies. Hey, Tobago. Check books and office supplies at TLH Plaza for all your back-to-school needs. From backpacks and stationery to textbooks and Tobago's largest selection of literature. It's all in one place. Open tomorrow, Emancipation Day, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Head down to Scarborough and gear up for the new school year.
All right, that's where we go. See you guys next Monday morning.